Adam Grant's Originals: How Nonconformists Move the World is not just a book about being different or rebellious for the sake of it. It's a thoughtful, research-backed exploration of how original thinkers, and by extension, nonconformists, contribute meaningfully to society. It challenges the conventional belief that innovators are lone geniuses who defy the norm at any cost. Instead, Grant introduces the concept that successful original thinkers are those who carefully balance creativity with practicality, and who, by their actions, subtly shift the tide of history. The book seeks to answer a central question: how do nonconformists, those who don't follow the crowd, actually change the world? It's not enough to simply think differently. One must learn how to leverage ideas in ways that inspire change, gain traction, and ultimately, make an impact. This question frames the entire exploration of originality, creativity, and the ways people who think outside the box navigate the delicate balance between risk and reward, convention and revolution. It's a roadmap for anyone who has ever wanted to make a difference, whether on a personal, societal, or professional level. Chapter 1. The Nature of Originality: What It Really Means to Be Different. In the first chapter, Grant defines what it means to be an original in a modern context. Far from the stereotypical image of the lone, eccentric genius, originals are people who challenge the status quo but do so with intentionality and strategy. Being original isn't about being the first person to come up with an idea. It's about executing ideas that break away from the norm in meaningful and productive ways. Grant also examines the role of timing in originality. The right idea at the wrong time might lead to failure. Similarly, the wrong idea at the right time can lead to groundbreaking success. The intersection of innovation and timing is often the unsung hero of success stories. He introduces the idea that originality isn't limited to the big names in history like Steve Jobs or Albert Einstein. Anyone who challenges existing frameworks and creates something different can be an original. This democratization of originality sets the tone for the entire book, helping readers believe that originality is within their reach. Chapter 2. The Myths of Creativity and Innovation. Grant begins to unpack some of the myths that surround creativity. There's this widely held belief that creative people have some magical, almost supernatural ability to come up with world-changing ideas. However, Grant presents the idea that originality doesn't stem from sheer divine inspiration but from a disciplined process of idea generation, experimentation, and, importantly, failure. One of the most eye-opening parts of this chapter is the way Grant redefines the role of failure in creativity. Most people view failure as a dead end, but originals see failure as part of the learning process. He cites numerous case studies where failed attempts, sometimes over the course of years, lead to eventual breakthroughs. This reframing of failure as a stepping stone is a key takeaway, as it encourages readers to view mistakes not as setbacks but as necessary experiments on the road to success. Moreover, Grant emphasizes the importance of generating lots of ideas. The most creative people aren't just those who come up with one big idea but those who generate many ideas, discard the weak ones, and refine the strong ones. In other words, originality is a numbers game as much as it is about insight. Chapter 3. The Originals Playbook: How to Bring Ideas to Life. Grant shifts gears in this chapter, discussing how originals bring their ideas into the world. It's one thing to have a great idea. It's another to execute it in a way that creates lasting change. He talks about the importance of quiet rebellion, emphasizing that originality doesn't always have to be loud or disruptive. Sometimes, the most effective way to be original is to quietly work on your ideas and allow them to speak for themselves. In this section, Grant also explores the role of persistence. Many original thinkers, while creative, face significant resistance. But it's their ability to push through that resistance, through compromise, adaptation, and unwavering belief in their vision, that separates them from others. Persistence, in Grant's eyes, is as crucial as creativity in turning an idea into a reality. Another key concept introduced here is the importance of taking risks, but smart risks. Grant challenges the traditional notion that all risk-taking is inherently good. Instead, he advocates for a strategic approach to risk, assess potential rewards and pitfalls, experiment in low-stakes environments, and avoid putting everything on the line in one go. Chapter 4. The Influence of Others, Persuasion and Collaboration. Grant tackles the concept of influence in this chapter, arguing that one of the key elements of being an original is the ability to persuade others to believe in your ideas. Innovation, as Grant notes, isn't just about having a good idea, it's about getting other people to buy into it. He provides fascinating examples from history, including Martin Luther King Jr. and his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, showing how the best originals are often masterful communicators who understand how to make their ideas resonate with others. A key point that Grant emphasizes is the importance of collaboration. Many people think that innovation is a solo endeavor, but the best ideas often come from working in diverse teams. Grant cites examples from Silicon Valley and other innovation hubs, where collaboration across different disciplines, such as technology, design, and business, leads to groundbreaking results. One of the central messages of this chapter is that nonconformists need to understand the dynamics of their audience. It's not enough to have a great idea, you must also understand how to communicate it in a way that persuades others to take action, whether through careful negotiation, leveraging emotions, or simply framing the idea in a way that aligns with the values of your audience. Chapter 5. Embracing Failure and Doubt, the Role of Self-Reflection. In this chapter, Grant delves deeper into the relationship between creativity and doubt. While many people believe that creativity is synonymous with confidence and certainty, Grant argues that doubt is actually a crucial ingredient in the process of originality. Originals are often the most self-reflective people. They are constantly evaluating their own ideas and adjusting them as needed. Grant uses examples from the lives of famous innovators like Thomas Edison, who, despite his reputation as an eternal optimist, was often filled with doubt and uncertainty. He didn't blindly believe in his ideas. Instead, he constantly tinkered, experimented, and questioned his own assumptions. This kind of self-awareness, Grant argues, is what separates truly original thinkers from those who are simply overconfident in their ideas. The takeaway here is that doubt isn't a sign of weakness. It's a tool that allows original thinkers to refine and perfect their ideas before bringing them to the world. Chapter 6. Navigating Risk, the Originals Who Didn't Leap Blindly. In Originals, Grant spends considerable time exploring the balance between risk and caution. While many assume that innovation requires a bold, all-in leap of faith, Grant suggests that smart originals manage risk in calculated ways. He highlights examples of entrepreneurs and creators who took steps to mitigate the risks associated with their original ideas. For instance, some of the most famous Silicon Valley entrepreneurs didn't just put all their eggs in one basket. Instead, they worked on multiple ideas, keeping their day jobs or experimenting with side projects to test the waters before diving headfirst into their ventures. This ability to assess and mitigate risk allows for greater chances of success. Grant's insight here is invaluable for anyone looking to innovate. You don't have to bet everything on one idea. You can test the waters, gather feedback, and adapt your approach until you're ready to take bigger risks. Final thoughts: the journey of the original. As Grant wraps up the book, he emphasizes that originality is a journey, not a destination. It's about learning how to think differently, act strategically, and understand that failure, doubt, and resistance are part of the process. The road to becoming an original is often paved with challenges, but the rewards, personal fulfillment, societal impact, and the chance to change the world are more than worth it. Grant leaves us with a powerful reminder: anyone has the potential to be an original. The question isn't whether you have a unique idea. It's whether you're willing to take the risks, face the doubts, and persist in the face of resistance. Originals encourages us to embrace the path less traveled, to challenge norms, and to carve out our own space in a world that often values conformity over creativity.